Hello students. So today I am starting with the fourth chapter of your NCERT, that is chapter is Kingdom Animalia. So this chapter it includes all the animals starting from the unicellular up to the complex multicellular organisms. Now we will study them under the classification or the systematics. How do we classify them these animals into different classes or the categories? So first of all, we'll discuss about the basis of classification. If we talk about the basis of classification, then there are different bases of classification like the arrangement of cell, body symmetry, nature of coelom, pattern of digestive, circulatory and reproductive system. These are the different criterias which are used to classify the organisms. And if you recall, you have done in your 9th standard also that we classify the animals into different phylums: Porifera, Cnidaria, which is also known as Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Nematoda, Mollusca, Arthropoda, Annelida, Echinodermata, and the chordates. So now we will discuss about all these phylums with their characteristic features in this chapter. So let's discuss about the different bases which are used for the classification of animals. So the first base is the level of organization. Level of organization is very simple. We had done in our junior section also that we simply said that the level of organization begins from a single cell that arrange in the form of tissues, then organs, organ system and the organism. So you can see here the single cell making a tissue that is making some organs, and the organ system is there, and finally the organism will be formed. The same pattern also exists in case of the plants also. So here we are discussing about animals. So the first level of organization is the cellular level. So here the certain animals, they have the loose mass of cells and show the cellular level of organization. So such animals have been categorized into the phylum Porifera. This phylum, it includes the cellular level of organization. Then the second one is, as we move on, the complexity of body design amplifies and the division of labor occur among the tissues. So these animals, they exhibit the tissue level of organization and are classified as the coelentrates. Next one is the phylum Platyhelminthes and Aschelminthes. These are having the organ level of organization. And finally, the animals such as annelids, arthropods, mollusks, echinodermates and the chordates, they have the specialized organ systems for their physiological activities, and they have the organ system level of organization. Although these animals have organ system level of organization, the complexity of organ system vary and they categorized into different phyla. Fine. So this is the level of organization among the animals. Now the next one is the types of digestive system. So if we talk about animals, there are two types of digestive systems. One is the complete digestive system, other one is the incomplete digestive system. Complete digestive system, that means the system is having two openings. One is mouth and the other is anus separately. Example, chordates are there. Whereas incomplete digestive system, here there is only one opening. It serves as both mouth as well as anus. So the phylum Platyhelminthes, even all the phylums before the Platyhelminthes, they all shows the incomplete type of the digestive system. Then the next one is the type of circulatory system. So circulatory is also of two type, open type and the closed type. Open type of circulatory system, in this case blood is pumped out of the heart and the cells and tissues are directly bathed into it. Whereas in case of closed circulatory system, blood is circulated through the arteries, veins and capillaries. That means here the blood is moving in through the closed blood vessels. That's why called as the closed type. Whereas the open type, they are loose, they are loosely present in the tissues and the cells are directly bathing into them. So this is called as open type. So here we have example of arthropoda and here we have example of chordates, which show this type of circulatory system. Next one is the symmetry. So symmetry, first of all, we should understand what is symmetry. When body is divisible into two equal halves, that is the mirror images of each other, this is called as symmetry. So let's understand this thing. You can look at this organism. So here this organism sea anemone can be divided into any of the plane and the two halves will be identical. Similar over here, this organism can be divided into two parts and both the parts are equal or the mirror images of each other. So this is known as a symmetry. So there are basically three type of symmetries. One is the asymmetrical. Asymmetrical are those when any plane that passes through the center of the body does not divide them into the identical halves. You are not able to divide them into the identical halves, and the example is sponges. So let's take a picture of this. So these are asymmetrical. You can cut into any of the plane, but the two parts will not be the mirror images of each other. So they are called as the asymmetrical. Second one is the radial symmetry. Radial, that you simply need to learn that the term used is radius, related to radius. When any plane passing through the central axis of the body divides it into two identical halves is called as the radial symmetry. Like a circle, you can cut it from any of the radius. It will be cut into two identical halves. So the radial symmetry from any of the plane. Example, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Echinodermata. So here we have seen this picture. This is the sea anemone and you can cut it into from any of the plane and the two halves will be the mirror images of each other. Then the third one is the bilateral symmetry. So when the body is divisible into two identical halves along the one plane only. Example, Annelida, Arthropoda, even the humans also. So here you can cut the organism in this plane only and the two parts will be the mirror images. But if you cut it this way, they are not the mirror images of each other. So such type of symmetry is called as the bilateral symmetry. Now, the next one is another important criteria is the number of the germinal or the embryonic layers. So the animals, in which the cells are arranged into the two embryonic layers, they are called, like the name of these layers is ectoderm and the endoderm. Ecto is external, ecto means outside and endo means inside. So ectoderm and the endoderm, they are called as a diploblastic because two layers are there. So you can see this is the section TS of the embryo. And you can see the one layer is outside, other layer is inside. The outer one is ectoderm, the inner one is endoderm. Fine. And the ecto and endoderm is present only. Such type of organisms are called as the diploblastic. And there is a undifferentiated layer present in between the two. This blue colored undifferentiated layer which is called as the mesoglea in case of the diploblastic. And we have the example of phylum Porifera, Cnidaria. Then the next one are the triploblastic where the three germinal layers are there. That means ectoderm, endoderm and in between we will have the mesoderm. This yellow colored layer is there which is called as the mesoderm and such organisms are called as the triploblastic. Example, platyhelminthes, chordates, fine. Even the human are also triploblastic. That means during the embryonic stage, three germinal layers were formed during our developmental stages. Next one is the coelom. Coelom is the body cavity. So the body cavity, first you need to understand what actually the coelom. I just want to focus your attention on this pen. We know that this pen is having the body of the pen is having a hollow cavity and inside that cavity the refill is being present. Similar to that, there is a hollow cavity in our body in which the different organ systems are arranged. So that body cavity or the hollow cavity inside this pen, that is called as the coelom. Fine. So let's understand what are the different types of coelom. The body cavity which is lined by the mesoderm is called the coelom. When the body cavity is surrounded by mesoderm from both the sides, you can see this example. This one is a coelom. Here the outer one is ectoderm, the inner one is the endoderm and this blue one is the mesoderm. And you can see there is a cavity in between which is lined by mesoderm on both outside as well as inside. So this is called as the coelom. Such type of organisms, they are called as the coelomates. And the examples are Annelida, chordates, mollusca. Whereas in some of the animals, the cavity is not lined by mesoderm but scattered in the form of pouches. Like you can see this way, Here the mesoderm pouches are present and they are scattered in between ectoderm, endoderm and the mesodermal pouches. This type of cavity is called as the pseudocoelom and this is found in case of the Aschelminthes. And then the next one is the body cavity is absent. So here you can see in this case there is no body cavity, ectoderm, mesoderm and the endoderm. There is no differentiation in the mesoderm, so they are called as the acoelomates. And we have the example of platyhelminthes. This is all about your coelom. Now, the next one is the segmentation and the notochord. So, if we talk about the segmentation, one of the very important term used during the animal classification is the metameric segmentation. So, metameric segmentation is the true segmentation in which external segmentation corresponds to the internal segmentation and the body is divided into a number of segments. So, here there is a corresponding between the outer and the inner segment. For example, this Annelida, arthropoda they are having. You have seen earthworm, आपने देखा होगा उस पर रिंग्स होती हैं. So when we dissect earthworm तो हम देखते हैं कि उसके 13 रिंग में हार्ट प्रेजेंट है, उसमें कहाँ पर जो है वो डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम का कौन सा पार्ट प्रेजेंट है. हर रिंग के अंदर एक सिस्टम की फिक्स्ड पोजिशन है. सो द सेगमेंट इज एक्सटर्नल एज वेल एज द इंटरनल. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज द मेटामेरिक segment, true segmentation in which external segment corresponds to the internal segmentation and the body is divided into the a number of segments. Animals which belong to phylum Annelida, Arthropoda, they exhibit the metameric segmentation, and metameric segmentation is the characteristic feature of Annelida and Arthropoda. Very important question this is. Next one is a notochord. So notochord is a mesodermally derived rod-like structure. Finally, we need to learn it as it is. This is the NCERT, that your language. This is a mesodermally. That means now we understand what is mesoderm. So from the mesoderm, during the evolution of the organism, during the formation of the organism, there is a rod-like structure which is formed on the dorsal side during the embryonic development in some animals. Even in humans, we are also chordates. Fine. So these animals with the notochord are called as the chordates, and those animals which do not form such structures, they are called as the non-chordates. Fine. So these are the different criteria which we use for the classification of animals. So just let's take a quick review of the entire phylums based upon these simple methods of classification. So first we have discussed about the level of organization. The first differentiation is based upon the cellular level. So that includes only one phylum, that is Porifera. Second one is the all are multicellular, so they show the tissue, organ and organ system level of organization. Next one is the symmetry. So here radial and the bilateral symmetry. Even here also you can write asymmetrical they are. Then the radial symmetry, they includes the Coelenterata and the Ctenophora. And the bilateral symmetry, even if you recall, we had written Echinodermata. So echinoderms are exception. They show radial symmetry during the adult stage and bilateral symmetry during the embryonic stage. So radial is also present in adults in case of echinodermates. Fine. Then bilateral symmetry, there the organisms are triploblastic. So here the body cavity is of three types: acoelomates, pseudocoelomes and the coelomates. So the acoelomates includes the platyhelminthes, pseudocoelomates includes the Aschelminthes, and the coelomates includes the Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and the chordates. So these are the different phylums which we are going to discuss in this chapter. So this is all about their broad basis of classification. I hope these are clear, and this table is really very important. When you learn all those points, all those criteria are clear, then quickly come to this table. With the help of this table, you will be able to quickly revise the points which we have used for the classification of the animals. Thank you. We'll continue in our next lecture in our next video.